Hey all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to this AI full course. In today's video, we are going to see about KNN classification algorithm. It's been a while I posted a video, really sorry for that. I'll make sure after this I'm posting video consistently. First thing what you have to do when it comes to machine learning algorithms is whenever I'm trying to understand any algorithm, I need to clearly understand what is that algorithm. So first, you could ask me the question, what is this KNN algorithm? It is generally a supervised algorithm, which means it has clear labels and clear differences when it comes to classification. In this type of KNN algorithm, we do have both classification and regression type of algorithms. So here in classification, it works in a way predicts the class of a new data point by looking at the k nearest data points in the training data set and assigning class that appears most frequently among them. This is how it works internally. So let's consider an example to understand this. If I have any k value as 5, so this algorithm is going to check the 5 closest neighbors and it is going to classify the new data point based on majority class. Let's see some applications so we'll not forget why we need this algorithm. First, it is used for email spam detection because it is such an interesting classification task, right? So for that, I could use KNN. Second application is medical diagnosis. When I want to predict someone's disease based on their symptoms and based on their historical medical records, then I could use this KNN algorithm. Next application is image recognition. If I want to analyze and identify which kind of object is shown on this particular image, then I could use image recognition algorithm as this particular KNN algorithm. Recommendation system. This is where AI is being used in so many industries nowadays. In Netflix, in YouTube, and Instagram, we might have seen so many video suggestions, reel suggestions, some movie suggestions, right? How these videos are being suggested to you. It is a best application of recommendation system. In recommendation systems, I can use KNN algorithm for doing classification and understanding the customer. Then in credit risk assessment, if I want to find out if this person is eligible for loan or not, then I could use this KNN algorithm. Then customer segmentation, how I could do this, how I could classify my customers when it comes to business. How can I do this? Based on their purchasing behavior. If they are frequently purchasing it or not, if what kind of products they are buying it from me, and how much they are spending frequently for buying products, if they are buying costly products or if they are buying any cheap products. I can classify them based on that, right? So for doing that kind of customer segmentation, I can use KNN classification. Then text classification, specifically in categorizing documents and when it comes to reviews, if I want to find it out if it is a negative review or positive review, I can use this KNN algorithm to figure it out based on the words that is present in that review. So these are the beautiful application we do have when it comes to KNN algorithm in classification. Next, KNN classification project. We are going to see a simple project how to create it with KNN algorithm. We are going to build a complete project of predicting customer purchase decisions with this algorithm. The data set that we are going to use is social networks ads data set. For this particular data set, I'll be adding a link in this video's description and also in the comment section. So you could take that data set and download it from Kaggle after signing in. The main goal of this project is predicting whether a customer will purchase a product based on age and estimated salary. Based on these two columns, you are going to predict if this particular customer is going to purchase or not. These are the topics we are going to see under this project. Data loading. EDA is for understanding the data. Train test split is for splitting my data set into training and testing data set. Then feature scaling is for scaling my values to a certain range so my ML model could understand it better. Then KNN classification. Here's where we'll use the classification model. Then we will be evaluating the model. Followed by we'll be having confusion matrix. This is one of the evaluation metrics when it comes to classification model. And finally, finding the best K value. So this is about finding it out which K works in a way which could easily predict the output if this person is purchasing or not. So for that, I'll be using this, finding the best k value. The first step when it comes to this project is importing all the libraries. Here I'm importing pandas for handling table data frame, and I'm using NumPy for handling numerical data, and Matplotlib is used for creating visualizations. Now I need to import some libraries that is used for machine learning model. Train test split is for splitting my data set into training and testing data. Then standard scalar is used for converting my data into a standard range so my ML model understands it in a better way. Then I'm importing the algorithm, KNN classification algorithm. And finally, I need to evaluate if my model is working well on this data or not, right? So for that, I'm importing the evaluation metrics. Next, we need to import and read that CSV file into this coding environment. For that, I'm creating a variable name called df and I'm giving pd.read CSV. So I can read the CSV file that I uploaded here. After uploading it, I could call the exact name and I could read CSV file. So for seeing the first 5 rows, I'm giving df.head. So it is printing my first 5 rows. Now I'm seeing how my data is looking like, how many rows it has and how many columns it has. So finding out how many rows and columns it has, I'm giving df.shape. And for finding it out, each and every column belongs to which data type, I'm giving df.info. Next, I want to understand if my data is having any problems or not, right? That's why I'm checking if it has missing values or not using this gf.isnull.sum. Luckily, we do not have any null values in state. Now, it is time to decide what I'm going to predict. Here, what I'm going to predict, what is the goal? I need to predict if this person is purchasing it or not. Using what? Using their age and estimated salary. So, what I'm going to use should be the features. What I'm going to predict is the target. So here the features are age and estimated salary that I'm storing inside X, and the target purchase is stored under Y. Next, I need to split my data set in training and testing data set. So after splitting that, how I'm splitting it? I'm giving test size as 0.2, which means 20% of data could be taken into testing. So remaining is taken for training my ML model. And I'm giving random state 42. So which means it is a common value I'll be using for most of my ML model. Now I've splitted my data set into training and testing data. The next step of feature scaling. Here is where you will be converting my data into a particular range so my model could understand it better. For using that, I'm creating a variable called scalar and I'm using standard scalar function. It will be converting my values into a standard range. And for X training and X testing data set, I'm doing applying this. That is why I'm giving dot fit transform and then I'm calling this X train. So this standard scalar will be applied to this both X training and testing. So which means to the features. And now here is the important step. Here I am using my machine learning model. So for using that, what I have to do is I'm just creating a variable name called KNN and then I'm giving k neighbors classifier and I'm giving n neighbors value as 5. So which means k value is 5. And then I'm giving knn.fit and then I'm giving x train scale and y train. So which means I'm calling my training data for target and features. And finally, to confirm if this is done successfully, I am giving a printing statement of print training completed. If it is done completely, it will be printing my training completed printing statement. Followed by that, I want my model to predict values for first 10 data. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm giving y predict as a variable name and then I'm calling kn.predict. For the X test scaled data, specifically, I'm giving print of y predict of 10 as a range, right? So which means for the first 10 values, it will be printing my predicted values. So for this particular 10 values, it is predicting and giving me the values 1 or 0. So based on that, we could understand how it is predicting it. Next, accuracy value. So this is where we are going to understand if this particular model is working well on my data set or not. So accuracy is like giving marks in my examination out of 100. So let's see the accuracy and figure it out how it is working on my data set. So for that, I'm creating a variable name called accuracy and using my accuracy score as a matrix. So this is used for evaluating it. And I'm calling my y test and y predict these particular data set. Finally, I'm giving the printing statement of accuracy and I'm calling this accuracy and printing it. Now, generally my output will be printed in a value like 0.9, 0.95 likewise. Here it might have printed like 0.91. But I want my output look professional. So that I'm giving a round of accuracy into 100, comma 2. I want to print this in percentage. So it could look more professional and easy to understand, right? That is why I'm doing small formatting additionally. So by seeing the output, accuracy value is 91.25 percentage. I can understand my model is working well on my data set. And then I want to understand if my data is working on my, this ML model is working well on my data or not. For that, I need to apply some evaluation metrics additionally. So that is why I'm using this confusion matrix. So how it is working on my different categories. Then I am creating a classification report. Under this, we'll be having precision, recall, reference code, and support. So for every categories, for 0, how it is predicting, for 1, how it is predicting. Based on these values, we can understand how well it is predicting. And finally, for finding out best K value, I'm creating a chart like this. So here I'm giving a range as 1 to 21. So 1 to 21 is the K range value. And scores I'm storing inside a empty list. So for creating that, I'm doing this all inside a F loop and I'm calling my machine learning model and I'm doing this dot fit, dot predict and all to make sure that it compares with the accuracy of the ML model each and every time by choosing the different K values from 1 to 21. Then I'm doing some customizations and I'm creating the chart. We have learned in the visualization part, right? So here, by looking into the chart, I can understand which K value gives the maximum accuracy. Just by looking into the chart, I can see. So for 3 values, I have accuracy close to 0.94. Let's see what is the K values that's giving maximum accuracy. So something close to 7. So if my K value is 7 and if my K value is around 8 or if my K value is 20, my accuracy is around 94 percentage. So if I choose these 3 K values, my model, this particular model could perform really well. So I believe in this demo, you clearly understood what is KNN algorithm, the application, and how to build this KNN algorithm. How to use it on a particular data set from scratch. I believe it really helped you. And if you have any doubts, without any hesitation, drop them in comments. Bye for now. We'll meet you in next amazing video.